Hi there boys and girls, Mrs Bosley here. So we're going to be doing a little bit of science from home today. So I've tried to find something that you guys should be able to do with the things that you've got in your house. You might have to be a little bit resourceful and make some things up. I have got a big stash of things that I could use, so I've just gone with what I've got. So we're going to make one of these today, which is a zoomer. And the things that you're going to need to do this, you're going to need some sellotape, some straws. I've got 4, but you can always try it with 3 things if you need to. Some paper or some card. The thicker you have, the better. A ruler or something with a straight edge, and scissors and a pencil. Please make sure that you are safe with the scissors and hold them correctly. So the first thing that we're going to have to do is we're going to cut some strips of paper to make these hoops which go around. So you can use, let me move some things out of the way, anything that you've got. So you might have a book that's got a straight edge or a DVD or something. If you don't have a ruler at hand, we can always improvise with lots of different things. So I've already drawn my 2 strips out on my piece of paper, so then I need to cut them as carefully and as straight as I possibly can. Now we can see that one of the hoops is bigger than the other one, and to do that we're going to have to decide how we want to change the small hoop. So we could cut it in half, or we could use a different fraction for that. So I've got my 2 strips, so this one is fine, it's easy, that can be my big hoop, but this one I'm going to need to make smaller. So I'm going to need to measure it. Now you can use non-standard measurement as well if you don't have a ruler, so that might be the measurement of some of your fingers, you might have the remote control, hands, any of those types of measurements. It doesn't have to be a ruler, so if you don't have anything, just improvise. So I'm going to measure it. My piece of paper is 21 centimetres long, so I could either half it, which would be 10.5 centimetres, or I could do it, I think, in 2/3, which would be 14 centimetres. So that we've got one that matches this, I'm going to do it in half, so I'm going to do 10.5. Again, I'm going to use my ruler to make sure that it's nice and straight, and I'm going to trim it off. So now we can see that we've got 2 pieces of paper that are going to be different lengths or different sizes when we make them into the rings. So next you'll need your sellotape. You need to find the end of your sellotape and cut a small strip off. Then we're going to stick it to the inside of our hoop and we're going to loop it back round. We're going to make the edges join as closely as possible and as straight as possible. We can see, if I hold it a little bit closer, that that doesn't really form much of a ring. So what I'm going to need to do is put some sellotape on the outside of it as well. There. Perfect. So we've got our 1 loop. Then we're going to need to do another one. Oh no, I lost my end. That's going to look much smaller. We're going to do exactly the same. We're going to loop it in from the inside first, join the edges as close as possible, which can be a bit tricky, the sellotape might stick. And then again, that doesn't make it very round, so we are going to put some sellotape on the outside of it as well. Perfect. So that's our 2 hoops made. So next we need to do our straws. So I've got mine here. Now these are the bendy straws, so I'm going to use that bend to measure them as much as possible. So I'm just going to flatten them out on the table. You might need your mums and dads to help you with this. I'm just going to cut them in a straight line across the top and put those to the side. So what you're going to need to do with these is you're going to need to tape the insides of the straw to the big hoop so that you should have all 4 around the outside. Okay, you can see now that it's starting to take a little bit of shape, so we've got all those in. So the next thing to do is we need to tape it to our little hoop, and to do that we're going to tape it to the outside, and it needs to come right up to the edge here on that. And there we have it, we have our zoomer. So we've got 2 of these now, so I'm going to go outside and give them a go. My goodness, it was definitely warm outside and I didn't need to wear a jumper today, but I hope that you enjoy them and you enjoy them flying. But what I think would be really important is if we bring a little bit more science into it. So they are able to fly because they are streamlined, which means that they cut through the air quicker. And we will see lots of cars and aeroplanes would be like this, so it creates less air resistance, which means that the air can move around it quickly. You'll notice that racing cars are much different from the cars that you drive around in every day, and that's because they're more streamlined, which means they can go faster. What I would like you guys to do is, one, you can create these, and that would be great, but I would like you to think of some variables. So remember, in fair testing, you're only allowed to change one thing. And that could be a number of different things. You might want to change the length of the straws, so you have one that's longer, shorter, and then maybe a medium-sized one. You might want to change the size of the hoops, or maybe you want to change the material. So if you've got different thickness of card, maybe you've got some newspaper or something like that you want to use, and see if it still works with those types of paper. Maybe you want to change the number of straws. We said before you might want to try it with 3. There's lots of different variables. You could be creative and come up with them yourself as well. And so I would like to see you guys not only just having a go, but I want you to tell me what your results are and how well they fly depending on the different things that you change about them. I hope you have a fantastic time doing this little bit of science, and I will definitely be doing some more throughout our time whilst the schools are closed. Make sure that you're keeping safe and you're staying inside and you're washing those hands. Don't forget Year 6 taught you how to wash your hands and all the germs that you're spreading. If you don't, keep safe, and I will see you soon, and make sure most of all that you have fun. Bye!